You're listening to a special edition of Around the Perimeter with Ben Abrams. Welcome to a special edition of Around the Perimeter. I'm Ben Abrams, the executive editor of the Collegian here at Georgia State Perimeter College. And for this episode, it's going to be a little different. Wasn't sure about how to take the approach, but I just decided to go ahead and just let these interviews that you're about to hear just play out and let the people, who I interview just tell their story because they do a great job of telling their story. But, just give you some little information here. So one of the events that's happening this week here on the Clarkson campus is that the Art Club will be having a special exhibit and award show over in the gallery in the F building on Thursday, April 7th from 5 to 7 p.m. Well, Professor Ambleek over on the Dunwoody campus was really nice enough to let me come onto the campus and, just talk to a few of the members in the art club just about, what they're working on, how they got into the art club, and just what they loved about art. And I can tell you, man, it was really, really interesting and really just amazing to see what some of these people are doing and, how some of these people, has got to the incredible talent that they are right now. And even just, learning about some of the people, I got to talk to the president and the vice president of the art club. I got to talk to one of the members who's actually the president of the computer science club here on the Clarkson campus. We have one who is an engineer. We had one who actually came from Puerto Rico and, is now here. And she was actually doing a great charcoal drawing when I interviewed her. So, like I said, a lot of great stories. Again, a big thanks to Professor Lacee Ambleek up there in the Dunwoody campus for allowing me to come to the art room and talk to these people. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all just listen to these interviews, and I'll come back in a little bit. All right, hello, this is Ben Abrams, executive editor for the Collegian, and I'm here on the Dunwoody campus here in the art club. And, today, just waiting for students to just turn in some exhibitions that, hopefully will be showcased in the exhibit over on the Clarkson campus here in a short time from now. So, like I said, I'm here with my first guest. Now, just first question, first couple questions, just what's your name? Where are you from? What's your major? And how did you get here in the art club?
Okay. Hi, my name is Darren Pope. I'm technically from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an art major, and I've been at Georgia Perimeter for about almost 2 years now. And, I really like it here. I just became the president of the art club this semester. And, we've been doing a lot of different activities, as far as, learning how to do different types of art, doing murals for different, people who, asked us to do different things for them. We get these different events from, student life, and they ask us if we wanted to, do, different, I guess you could say, art activities, and we were able to do that. So that, gives us a couple of things to do. And, it's a great way to, even if you're not really good at art, you can still, learn something new about the art world. So.
All right, cool. So one of the things I'm just curious about is, when you're just thinking about what you want to do with your life. So how did you get to artist?
Oh, I've always wanted to be an artist. Ever since I was a kid. That's always something I wanted to do. I've read a lot of comic books, and, I just started drawing what I saw in the comic books. And over time, I really started to enjoy it, and I thought of doing it as a profession. So, it's just came natural.
All right, well, you talk about, it coming natural, and you just mentioned about, drawing art that you saw in comics and everything. So, just out of curiosity, just going through, what a mind of an artist and just creating something new. So, when you do create something, what is the first step you would take?
First step, I would always have to do thumbnails or, rough drafts and drawings. Always do drawings. That's the best way to get your ideas out. I always keep a sketchbook with me. or something handy like a notebook. That way I can just doodle things down, and it will come out of nowhere sometimes. I'll come up with something that could just be, a basic building or a landscape, and I'll say, okay, I really like that, and then I'll sketch it and draw it. And, depending on that, I can do different things like charcoal. I might turn that drawing into a charcoal piece, or I might paint it, and so it all starts from the drawings, and then, work its way from there.
All right, so where does where would the inspiration come from?
Inspiration. Anything really. I get a lot of inspiration from music sometimes. Being here in, the art room really gives me a lot of inspiration when I see other people's work and see how they're doing, and I see how, the art teachers are teaching others, and, it gives me a lot of inspiration actually being in an actual studio working with other people. I think that's the biggest inspiration for me.
All right, so I know right now you're working on watercolors. Is there any type of art that, you like doing the most?
Well, definitely this. I really like watercolor and gouache. I'm just new to this now, but it's really great. I like it. I also like charcoal. I like drawing. It's just really easy to do. You're doing things with your hands, and, it's just a really effective way of making something accurate and realistic, and I like that. So, the watercolor thing is new, but I like it. It's a little hard, but trying new things and getting out of your comfort zone, it really makes you become more creative and find different ways of learning techniques that might not, seem like it'll be helpful, but it will be helpful in different, mediums that you use. So I might learn something in watercolor that might help me out with, a charcoal piece. Or I might learn something in 3D that might help me with my watercolor projects. So, it's just learning new things and getting out of your comfort zone. That really is effective.
All right, cool. So now just looking at your career plan and everything. So what do you look to do with this after you graduate here from Perimeter?
From here I'm going to go to Georgia State University, and I'll major in graphic design, and I think that would be something that would be really great to do as far as a major. See if I can get a job doing that, and then later on down the line, I would like to sell my own artwork, online. I think that's the new way of having your own business and being an entrepreneur, which artists are entrepreneurs. I think that's the new thing now, is to really just put your artwork online and sell it. That's a great way of putting your stuff out there, and I think it helps you motivate you to become better as an artist.
All right, so you're just looking to freelance work for yourself, or?
Yeah, I'm thinking about having a job like a graphics design job, or any job that's art related. Really, have that as a stable job. Have that so that I can pay the bills, and then have something on the side, a side project, my own personal work, my own personal illustrations and paintings, and then I'll sell that online and promote that myself. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, all right. So, just last question. So, anyone who's just getting into art, or maybe just starting out in art, what would your advice be for them?
Definitely pick up a sketchbook and start drawing. It starts off kind of slow, but you have to be consistent. When you're consistent and you're constantly drawing and constantly learning new things, you'll get better. And it's funny because a lot of people say only thing I know how to do is draw stick figures. And I understand that, but it's just like math or sports or anything else. It's techniques. You don't have to have a lot of talent. You don't have to be, a fancy artist who does a lot of abstract stuff. It just comes with techniques. Anyone can learn it, really. So the first thing I would do is pick up a sketchbook and start sketching. Anything that comes to mind. Sketch things that you see around you outside. That's the best way to get, into a consistent creative, flow. And then from there, you can learn things on YouTube. YouTube is a really good source. Learn things online. There's free courses out there that you can take and learn. One of them that I like is what's the name of it? It's Feng Zhu. Feng Zhu is a very good digital artist, and he has a couple of videos online that are really, really good. I would recommend those. And so, there's so many different things that you can find online that are for free. And, when you look at the research and you find different things that you might like, if you want to learn how to draw, they have different sections for that. If you want to learn how to do digital painting, there's a lot of things for that. I would definitely look at stuff online that you can find for free first and see if you like it. And then if you really want to get involved in it, then branch out and buy supplies and paint and everything else first. But start off with drawing. That's the first thing. Everything starts from there.
All right, cool, man. Well, like I said, so you're having your watercoloring right now, man. Looks really nice, man. And like I said, really impressed by your work, bro. All right. Anyway, like I said, man, I appreciate you having me out here, man. Just best of luck in the future, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
And same here. Just to start, just a couple questions here. Just tell me what's your name, where are you from, what's your story, and what made you start the art club?
Hello, my name is Kaya, and I'm from Taiwan. I came to America 6 years ago, and then I started doing my art since I was little. Drawing just my habit. I just keep drawing, and then it's get more serious after I get to college. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so what made you want to become an artist?
I found out that art is the only thing that I really want to keep doing it for the rest of my life. Like, that's my interest. I feel that art, I want to do something that can be my career but also my interest. So that's art is the only thing that I want to do as my job.
All right, cool. So, notice you're doing a watercolor there. So, whenever you are trying to create just a new thing of art, what would be your first step?
For doing a new artwork.
Yeah, just like any new artwork.
As I think the people say, you just have to draw stuff every day, sketch out things. Like, I heard some artists say if you don't have something in your mind or you don't know what to draw, you just bring a sketchbook with you every day and then see whatever in front of you, and then eventually you have more practice. That's gonna get better. Yeah.
All right. So, where does your inspiration come from?
My inspiration sometimes comes from some pictures from photographer or some artwork I like, and I think the Japanese artist, the Mayo Miyazaki. Yeah. Just sometimes when I see some people's work on Pinterest or Facebook, that's my inspiration.
And then, so what do you want to do with your talent after you graduate from here?
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I recently applied to SCAD, and I'm just waiting for if I get accepted or not. The best choice is go to art school, or I want to study art at New York. But if that doesn't work out, I'll probably go to Georgia State and major in art still.
Cool. And then, do you have any advice to anyone who is new to art or just started art?
I would say if you are really interested in art and you're not sure if you want to do art, just draw every day, keep on drawing. Because a lot of artists I believe that they draw a lot, and if you don't draw as much as they do, like you have nothing to complain about. So I'll just say, just let it go. Don't think too much. Draw whatever's in your mind. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks, Kai. Best of luck to you, man. Just so we can begin, just first couple of questions. What's your name? Where are you from? How'd you end up here in the art club? And what's your story?
My name is Rosa Adames, and I'm from New York. Just moved here long time ago, but I've lived here since I was like 9. What brought me to the art club was that I really wanted to do something different, because in high school I didn't do much. I didn't do any activities, only go to try out for step team, and I decided to be part of the, how should I say, I became secretary of the art club. It's something new. I'd never done that before, so yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so art major or?
Art major.
All right, cool. All right, so you said you didn't do much in high school, so I guess what made you want to be an art major, and what made you want to become an artist?
The fact that I can express myself in a way, the same way with dance, because they're both kind of two things that I really like to do, and I like the way that I can use colors and things to express myself.
All right, so now whenever you're creating a new piece of art, what would your approach be? What would your first thing you would do?
My first approach would look at inspirations at other artists and try to combine all of those together into something I like to do, in my own way. Pretty much look up roses, which I really like to look at, and I just look up pictures of roses and try to interpret them in different ways as what others artists done. Yeah.
All right, and where do you get your inspiration from?
Not really. I don't have much inspiration. Usually I just go through Pinterest or Instagram, and I just see things that interest me, and I just start to do drawing or something similar to that.
All right, so what do you want to do with what do you want to do with this after you graduate?
I might want to be a graphic designer after I graduate. I might also go 2 more years to Georgia State to study graphic design, or I might do fashion styling or dancing. Right now I'm trying to explore those 3 different areas right now.
Okay, cool. And just for anyone who's getting started in art or maybe thinking about joining the art club, do you have any advice to any new artists?
Join. Don't be afraid to do something really new. Being part of the art club is to bring everyone together and to create something new, pretty much.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Rosa. Just to start off, just like to know what's your name, where you're from, and what's your story, and how did you decide to go into the art club?
My name's Julie Beth Delgado. I'm from Puerto Rico. I've always had a love for art, so when I heard about the art club, I decided this would be a great way to see other people's artwork and inspired by them and stuff.
All right, cool. So you say you always loved art. So what made you want to become an artist for a career?
I don't really know how to explain it to you. I just fell in love with it. I loved charcoal is one of my favorite media. The mess of it, it's just so much fun.
All right, so just noticing this last picture you've done right here, really beautiful. So when you do a new picture or any piece of art, what is your first step in creating it?
I do a lot of thumbnails in my sketchbook, so there's different versions of it, and then I later on decide which one I like the most, and then I practice with the media, and then I make my piece.
All right, so where does your inspiration come from?
From random places. I just did a mandala, and I got inspired by eggs. So it's different every time.
All right, so what do you want to do, after you graduate here from Perimeter?
I want to transfer to Kennesaw and then go to education, and I like to be an art teacher, so I want to teach kids art and stuff.
All right, and for anyone who's starting in art or anyone who's like a new artist, do you have any advice for them?
Draw every single day and just practice, and if you really want to do it for a career, go for it. Don't be afraid.
All right, Julie Beth, thank you. Just to start off, a couple of things. Just tell me what's your name, where are you from, what's your major, and what got you here to the art club?
I'm Bakari Griffin. I'm from Lawrenceville, Georgia. I've been in Georgia all my life, and my major is engineering. I recently found out that we have an art club, so I came down here to check it out, and had a good time making art with new people.
So, has art been just something that you've always, always done, always enjoyed?
Art has been something that I've been pursuing around mid-high school. It's been a personal passion of mine, and I wanted to always express what I saw in my head to other people. So this was the perfect medium.
So how does an artist end up, with an engineering major?
Well, engineering major is going towards industrial design. And with industrial design, it has a creative side to it where you do perspective drawings of products and a multitude of stuff, like from watches to cars to pens and other products that you use in your everyday life.
All right, so that's where this comes in?
Yes, it's sort of a way to get a good standing major, with also having my creative side show through my work.
All right. So now you mentioned that you've been into art since since high school. So what made you want to become an artist?
What made me want to become an artist? Well, that was because I was having a rough time in high school, and I had to find a way to cope with my depression and whatnot. So art was a way to express it without being too down on people, because I had a picture to show rather than to have just complaints about things.
I understood. So now when you're creating art, or even when you're designing something, like what's like the first step to your approach?
It depends it depends on the subject matter or what this is for. If it's for a project, I always start with a sketch, and then I go into painting digitally, and I render it until it's complete. But if it's a personal piece, or feel like I just need to make something, I just have the thought in my head and I start making marks on the page.
All right, so you're talking about industrial engineering as and also as I know you mentioned earlier, you talked about being an engineering major. So what do you plan to do with your talent as an artist and with your knowledge of engineering after you graduate from Perimeter?
I hope to eventually go to a school with a strong industrial design background, such as Georgia Tech. I know that I'll take good grades to get there, so I'm dedicating my time to studying as well. And I'm hoping that it'll later take me to maybe a job making drawing for companies for products like cars, or maybe even delving into entertainment design with that sort of background.
All right, so last question here. So for anyone who is looking to start art, maybe they have just started art, what would your advice be for them?
I would say always draw. Make sure that you fall in love with drawing first, And then after you fall in love, you start to do the studying that makes your craft more refined. So doing like figure drawing is very helpful in terms of getting your confidence down and to get the mileage in and make sure that you have enough drawings done to get like better results.
All right. Well, anyway, Bakari, I appreciate taking some time out to answer my questions, man. Best of luck to you, man. Just to start off, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your story? And how'd you decide to get into the art club?
Oh, man. That's going to be a tough question. My name is Jay. That's the hard part out of the way. I'm from California, but I moved to Georgia when I was young. So I've been here for a pretty long time, even though I moved around a lot. I decided to join art club just because art has always been one of my interests, and Miss Lacee is actually very good about spreading awareness of art club, and so as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I had to join it,
All right, cool. All right, so what made you want to become an artist?
Probably all of the movies and games that I would play or see. I kind of fell in love with these imaginary worlds that people created, and more than anything, I wanted to make my own imaginary worlds come to life the way that the people did when they made the games and movies.
So, whenever you're creating just something new, what is your first step in creating a new piece of art?
That's tough because I can generally break it down into two processes. One when I have an idea of what I want to make, and one when I don't, and I can't come up with something to do. When I have an idea of what I want to do, I pretty much just follow the basic steps of whatever medium I'm working with. If I'm painting or whatever, I follow the rules and just try to use those rules in different ways to express what's on my mind and to bring into existence what is what I see in my own imagination. When I don't know what I'm making, I'll usually try to use some randomness or chaos to sort of find an order in that and to cut away all of the extra bits that I don't like.
All right, and where's your inspiration come from?
Oh, man, that is a really good question. I'd say life itself, actually, and I know that sounds really cliche and weird, but there's so many different things that influences all of us as people, and in every single situation we pull from all of our experiences to make decisions. When I'm creating art, I'll pull inspiration from other artists that I admire, friends that I know whose work that I really like, and even just some things that I feel at the moment, or random stuff like what book did I just read recently, some homework that may have spoke to me. Sometimes I've actually been inspired by math problems, which sounds a little weird, but it's true. But yeah, so just be open to all forms of inspiration.
All right, so what do you want to do with your talent after you graduate from here?
My aim with all of my talents is to make the world a better place when I leave the world than when I entered it. I want to help people in whatever way I can. Right now, my main focus is bringing people together to help them create stuff, whether that's art or actual stuff, just allowing people to come together with their different talents to add it to a bigger purpose.
All right, and do you have any advice for anyone who's new to art?
Push yourself. push yourself and don't be afraid, because if you get comfortable with something, you'll never grow. And what you really want to do is grow. See how many different things you can do and find your niche. And even when you find your niche, try to make it better. That's how we evolve as artists and change the world.
All right. Well, anyway, Jay, like I say, you're a bright dude, man. Best of luck to you, man.
Awesome. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Well, that just about does it for this edition of Around the Perimeter. Want to once again thank all the artists I interviewed. Man, y'all are talented. Got some bright futures, as well as Professor Lisa and Blink for allowing me to come up there and interview all y'all, man. Y'all were great. Once again, want to remind everyone of the art and gallery show that will be happening on Thursday, April 6th at 5 p.m. It goes from 5 to 7. I encourage you to go out. Just check out some great art, man. You'll see some great things, man. You won't be disappointed. But anyway, like I said, man, this edition of Around the Perimeter is done. It's been executive produced by myself, Ben Abrams, as well as all the interviews. This has been a presentation of the newly named Perimeter Podcasting Network, which comes from the Collegian here at Georgia State's Perimeter College. For more news and information about the college, you can check us out at collegiannews.com, as well as our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram pages. And then you can also check out our podcast or other podcasts from the past at our SoundCloud page, which is soundcloud.com/GSU Perimeter Pod, or our YouTube page, which is Perimeter Pod Net. Once again, check out some of the other shows we got. We got 2 more editions of ATP, like I mentioned earlier in other podcasts. The interview with Melissa Simpson, as well as the discussion that London Diamond Lacee will be having about electives that might be, going away from Perimeter College, electives we didn't know about. Also, check out some of the other podcasts. Like I said, Angel Masters on the Science Show. Also, Jared and Valentino on bonus episodes of the gaming show. And of course, we also have Culture Collective with Jazzy and D. Those two are on our planet at this point, but they're also crushing it. But anyway, like I said, check all those out. Also check out the next print edition of the Collegian, which comes out April 14th. Like I said, 2 editions left of the Collegian, y'all. Get it while y'all can before they're gone forever. Like I said, man, until next week or until next couple of weeks, I'm Ben Abrams for the Perimeter Podcast Network and the Collegian, and I'll see you next time. Later. Hey everyone, it's Ben Abrams, the executive editor from the Collegian and one of the creators of the newly named Perimeter Pod Network. And I'm here just to talk about some of the stuff that'll be happening at Perimeter over the next couple of weeks. On April 6th at 5 p.m., the Film Club will be having its annual film festival over in the Jim Cherry Lecture Center. Will be the downstairs library lobby on the Clarkson campus. If you don't know where that is the building with all the glass windows, on it, right next to the campus cafe. But anyway, like I said, annual film festival. Students will get to participate and vote on which short film they like the best. Go down and check it out myself, and I'm really looking forward to it. Also on April 7th, the Art Club will be having its annual art exhibit in the Gallery of the F building on the Clarkson campus. This is when, talented members of the art club will get to showcase their art for, people to come in to see. Another great event, get to showcase good local talent. And finally, our friends over from the in Wellness Recreation Centers, they gave us some things that they want us to pass on to other folks. Right now until April 27th, they got an outdoor intramural soccer league that is going on right now over on the soccer field, right next to the parking deck and right next to the football stadium. That's where, the Lady Jags used to play their ball, before the consolidation happened. But anyway, like I said, just some really good things going on right now. If it's anything like the Rec Basketball League, you're bound to see some good action. So I would say go on over there, check it out. They also got one going on in Dunwoody right now. And actually, Interesting thing is that, when they do the playoffs, they're going to kind of have this World Cup of a perimeter thing going on right now, where the Clarkson winner will play the Dunwoody winner for the championship game. Also going on from the Wellness and Rec Center, some fitness classes that will be going on from now until the end of the month. Room CG014 on the Clarkson campus. We have yoga that goes from now until April 27th. You can catch that every Monday and Wednesday from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We also have Aqua Zumba, which will be happening in room CG 1130 on the Clarkson campus. That will be going from now until the 28th. You can catch those on Monday and Wednesday from 5:15 to 6:15. And cardio kickboxing, which will be happening in room CG 0140, the same room as yoga. You can catch that from now until April 28th, and that will be on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. And finally, for anyone who's maybe looking for a relaxing activity they can do, even just to get their mind off of classes, they also have a walking program which will be going on right now until April 22nd. They have some prizes for anyone who can walk 10, 15, 30, even 50 miles. So, anyone looking just for an activity that just help them blow off some steam, or, get their mind off things, or even just to relax. Like I said, this walking program might be a good fit for you. For more information, check out Coach Robert Edwards. He's downstairs in the G building on the Clarkson campus, or you can get in touch with Jonetta Kelly at jonetta.kelly@gpc.edu. Again, jonetta.kelly@gpc.edu. All right, so like I said, a lot of great things happening here around the campuses of Perimeter, and just go check them out. And if there's anything that you'd like to let us know, feel free to reach out to us on our Collegian Facebook page or on our Twitter page, and just let us know about some stuff that's happening around the area.